So if you've been following my social media channels, you've probably seen my Twitter post that went viral when I was talking about DTAL in the subnets. I didn't realize so many people were in the TAL Bittensor ecosystem. I want to make a video talking about the subnets, two subnets that in my opinion has the most institutional interest and could be adopted, right? Not just in Web3, but by Web2. In this video, I want to be fair, there's a lot of subnets that could have been mentioned, but I want to talk about two that I think have the most potential to cause a domino effect and kind of help the TAL price appreciate. If you like these type of videos, make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and keep your favorite crypto and door-to-door entrepreneur inside the algorithm. The entire cryptocurrency market is putting in a correction, and even Bittensor TAL is putting in a correction. I think that this is a very optimal time to start looking at DTAL and putting together a list of subnets. I am going to help you with two of the best subnets in DTAL, so make sure you stick around. There's been a lot of FUD about DTAL, but I think that this is opportunity. The ecosystem of Bittensor itself is in the AI marketplace just thriving with potential, but the problem is most people don't understand DTAL or care to do the research to understand it, right? They just want TAL, right? But there's a lot of opportunity within TAL, and specifically for anybody buying alpha tokens or running a miner. So I want to focus on a couple of subnets that I believe that are already being adopted from an institutional standpoint. TAL itself did print a sell signal. So again, if the crypto market continues to correct, I want to be honest here, TAL could bleed, and pretty much every altcoin could bleed. But we do have catalysts being set up, like a potential Fed cut, different laws that's being integrated to, to move crypto and to usher the adoption. And for the most part, we've been going up for about a couple months now. So it's kind of normal for corrections to happen. So this is the time to really, grab your notepad, do whatever you need to do to start taking notes and putting together these lists of altcoins, because I truly believe, and you've probably seen this in the live, that this is the last leg up of this specific cycle, right? If we go higher, I will be happy, but at the end of the day, I want everybody to properly prepare of what could come. And of course, it's a lot of uncertainty, so please practice good risk management. Now, before I go any further, I want to talk about Bitcast, Subnet 93. Brands waste millions on fake influencers while creators get pennies from gatekeeping agencies. Bitcast, Subnet 93 cuts out the middleman completely. Brands post content briefs, creators choose what matches their style, crypto payments flow automatically based on real performance. Authentic content at scale for brands, fair crypto payments for creators, all verified on chain through AI. Everybody wins. If you want to know more about Bitcast Subnet 93, be sure to check out the description. All links will be in the description. Appreciate the Bitcast team. So one of the best success stories in Bittensor's ecosystem has been Rayon Labs. In fact, both of the subnets I will be talking about were created by Rayon Labs. The first subnet I want to talk about is Subnet 64. They allow you to use decentralized compute power, basically the electricity, to run AI models, right? They're already competing with some of the biggest centralized entities in the world, scaling, processing 30+ billion tokens daily, with the peak performance reaching 46 billion tokens in a single day. This is how many people have been using their ecosystem, because the tokens, you got to purchase the tokens to actually use the Chutes or implement these APIs. So you can already see a lot of people are using it. The network of 8,000 active GPUs managed by approximately 192 miners with 5 to 15 active validators. To put that into perspective, you can see the processing volume here of Chutes compared to OpenAI, Amazon, and also Google. So, we're getting so much more activity compared to these other big models. And the reason is because if you ever build an AI model, right, Chutes is a lot more cost efficient than using something like OpenAI's API, Grok's API, Google, like all of this stuff takes a lot of money when you're implementing these APIs on your applications. I've tried implementing APIs with Chutes, and like I said, I use Chutes all the time, guys. And if you can refer back to my personal account here, where I've showed you guys multiple times me creating pictures through image generators or creating videos through video generators, and I'm still sitting here at $5. And I've used APIs from DeepSeek a couple times, so it's far more cost efficient than something like OpenAI, Google, Amazon, and even Grok, which is created by Elon Musk over there with X. So I really like what's going on with Chutes. The platform supports 500,000 plus language model endpoints, 50,000 diffusion models, including cutting edge models like DeepSeek. So this is very, very important in my opinion, especially when comparing it to something like OpenAI, which is very, very centralized, right? In fact, some of these centralized companies gatekeep you where you can't get compute power because the GPU shortage, right? Now we got computers across the world contributing to the ecosystem by allowing people to rent out that GPU power in a decentralized fashion. This is very good for any indie developer that's creating, because guess what? A lot of indie developers, they don't have the money to be able to shelve out with all these APIs and using Google. It's like, it's just way too expensive unless you got the bag, right? And if you're creating a big model, right, guess what? It's going to take more compute power. So why wouldn't any of the people out there, that's creating these big models come over to Chutes, where they can make AI models in a more efficient fashion? So I really like, Chutes when, comparing it to competitors, right? Decentralized networks of 8,000 active GPUs, no single point of failure with distributed global infrastructure, 100,000 plus API users with the open router integration. So people are already using this, and it's an 85% cost reduction compared to OpenAI equivalents, right? And again, you can see the daily token processing here, 30 billion a day compared to OpenAI. And we know OpenAI is massive. Everybody uses Chat GPT. Chutes demonstrates remarkable performance advantages over centralized competitors in key operational metrics. While OpenAI maintains a larger user base due to early market entry, Chutes has achieved superior cost efficiency and processing capacity through its decentralized architecture. The 85% cost reduction represents a transformative economic advantage that could drive significant market adoption as awareness goes. And what do you think that's going to happen to Tau appreciation once everybody, even people outside of the subnets, start using Chutes for compute power? I think it's going to be massive. The next project that I think is getting a lot of institutional looks here is Subnet 56, which is gradients, guys. So what this allows everyone to do is contribute to training AI, right, through data annotation. So instead of one man team, or these teams of 12 people that just train all of the AI and they train it the way they want it to learn, gradients kind of gives the people a chance to train AI, right? Anybody can train AI, right, and contribute to the ecosystem. So now you got AI learning from everything, opposed to just one centralized group that can move AI in the direction that they want to move it, right? So you ever use something like Chat GPT or Grok or Google, and you ask it a question and it kind of give a biased question? Well, these decentralized platforms like this that have tech that allow everybody to contribute to data annotation puts AI in a position where it can learn in a decentralized fashion, opposed to learning from one centralized entity or team. So gradients allows anyone in the world to train image and text models on Bittensor, right? So the miners and the validators, they compete for the best models, right? And I think it's huge, right? Because if you need a model trained, right, you don't want your model trained by the same people over and over and over. This allows you to get the best models, the best of the best every time through their system. So really like what gradients is becoming, revolutionizing AI model training through decentralized competition. Gradients transforms custom model developments by eliminating traditional barriers like manual hyperparameter tuning. So right here, manual hyperparameter tuning, this is like, when you go to create a AI model or train it, right, and you got to train it everything specifically, like by one team has to do everything manually. Well, now this eliminates that, right? This allows a group of miners, right? A group of computers, like all over the world, right? To train AI, you don't have to do anything manual. These miners and these validators compete and they deliver you the best trained AI model, right? After they compete, they deliver you the best, and you don't got to manually sit there and tune your AI model. And the need for large ML teams through a competitive marketplace for miners, right? So Gradients on Demand system enables serverless model training across a distributed network of 62 active GPU miners. 10 validators ensure quality control through Bittensor's Yuma consensus algorithm. So this is Barry Silbert and them guys and Yuma contributing to this ecosystem, right? As far as the win rate, 82% against HuggingFace and 100% win rate against Google Cloud. So this is letting you know that the models that they create here are better than Hugging Face 82% of the time, better than Google Cloud 100% of the time across approximately 100 comparative tests. Training costs of just 5 hours is $5 an hour is 1/200th of the traditional of cloud providers, right? So to put that into perspective, if you're creating something on Amazon, right? This is AWS SageMaker, right? Depending on how big the AI model is will determine the price, right? So it says, 20 cents an hour here if you're using AWS, but let's say you're building something that's massive, that price would massively change. But with the Gradients, you already know you're getting $5 flat fee, $5 an hour to train, regardless of model size. So this is why, anybody training AI would probably choose Gradients, and we are already seeing that compared to AWS or even Hugging Face, right? 82% win rate versus Hugging Face, 100% win rate versus Google Cloud, 200 times cheaper than traditional providers. Architecture, serviceless distributed training across a network of competitive GPU miners, no code interface for simple data upload and base model selection, 3,000 plus paying users already with growing enterprise transition. So I'm saying it now, these two subnets could cause Tao's price to massively surge, right? Subnet 56 Gradient shows remarkable performance advantages against established AI training platforms. Cost analysis reveals even more dramatic differences. So you can see here the win rate. I mean, Gradients is killing it, and the training cost per an hour, of course, is not as much. Is way cheaper than Google Cloud. It's a little bit more than AWS, but you got to understand AWS is charging you per the size of the model. So if you creating a big model, it can go up to about $5,000, per an hour, opposed to 20 cents. But with Subnet 56, it's always $5 an hour to train your model. And I think that a lot of people love the consistency. Now, Bittensor is sitting at a $3 billion market cap, and it already has 200,000 plus active network participants. And I found this out the hard way when that video went viral and I seen all of the love that I was getting within the Bittensor ecosystem. So Bittensor Subnet ecosystem has achieved meaningful scale and adoption while quantitative network metrics demonstrating its position as a viable challenger to centralized AI infrastructure providers. I just feel like Bittensor, if this gets adopted, which I think it will, right? We're talking about a project that has the potential to hit 100 billion or higher. Many people believe that if Chutes or Gradients was just its own token, like its own Solana token and not actually a subnet, they'll already be valued at 500 million or higher just because of the interest it's getting from an institutional standpoint. Everybody wants to be part of AI. Everybody wants to build something in AI. So all of these developers want to find the most cost efficient avenue to build at that AI, right? And Subnet 56 and Subnet 64 are solving, right? They're providing a solution for a problem, a big problem that's in the AI sector of crypto. Now, I want to make it fair. There could have been a lot of subnets I could have talked about and compared them to other real world companies or Web2 entities, but I think that these ones make the most sense, easiest to understand, and already have users using it, generating revenue. So please do your research on these subnets, man. Don't sleep on them. I know the price action isn't like a Solana token or a base token, but there is a lot of potential here. If you do the research, take a deep dive into what's actually happening and seeing how many people are already using the technology within the Bittensor ecosystem. Anyways, I'm gonna holla at you guys. Let me know what you think about Chutes Subnet 64. Let me know what you think about Gradient Subnet 56. And also let me know what you think about Tau. It's your boy Crypto Millie. I'll see you in the next one.